Black Friday! Still here. We are talking about Black Friday deals, and I have got to say this is one of my favorite categories to talk about today. We are going to go over the rowers and the bike best Black Friday deals. So, first thing I want to say, I'm going to talk about some of my favorites, but we have all of the deals, more deals from brands, partners, basically any deals that we can find available on the internet. We have put it at GarageGymReviews.com, so be sure to check that out if you want the full list of everything available to you. So as a home gym owner, this is the thing to watch. This is the channel to watch, especially if you are into cardio equipment.
Yeah.
Okay, so first let's start off with the rowing category. I love rowing. We have a couple different brands that we're going to talk about today. The first one being from ProForm. Now, ProForm has two rowers that I'm going to mention today. Okay, so the first rower I want to talk about today is the ProForm 750R. So right now with ProForm, they are offering $100 off of specific rowers. If you choose their bundle options, you are going to save even more money, and I will briefly mention those in a second. But with the ProForm 750R rower, it is now $699. So a couple details about this. Obviously, this is an indoor rower, but the one benefit to this is that you don't have to necessarily buy the subscription to iFit, but you can use iFit programming in conjunction with this rower. The weight capacity on this is 250 pounds. That is a little bit under what we see with a lot of different rowers. Even water rowers, even mechanical rowers, they tend to have a higher weight capacity, so that's definitely one thing to consider. When it comes to the warranty, there is 5-year warranty on the frame and then 1-year warranty on accessories and parts that come with this rower. This rower definitely feels really smooth. It feels really sturdy. It's an inertia flywheel, so it's ultra quiet. It has these oversized pedals with adjustable foot straps, so it makes it really easy to get on and off the rower, especially if you are somebody who does have larger feet. You'll have no problem fitting into the adjustable foot pedals that this offers. Another thing is that this does auto adjust resistance, so when you use it with the iFit programming specifically, you can do the smart adjust or the auto adjust, meaning that as you follow along with the program, your rower is going to automatically adjust the resistance based on the instructor's callouts. Something that just takes a lot of the guesswork or the thinking out of a rowing program, especially if you don't have a specific rowing program that you follow. Okay, so briefly want to mention their bundle options. So they have a treadmill and a bike bundle that is normally $3,499 and is now $2,698. And then they also have a treadmill and then a rower bundle, normally $3,498, now $2,798. So if you are wanting to outfit your home gym with cardio equipment, definitely do Black Friday bundle sales because they are going to save you a ton of money. All right, the next one I want to talk about is from Merach, still not sure how to say that brand name, but this is the Nova R50 air resistance row. This is actually what I would consider the most comparable rower to the Concept 2. Now, obviously, there's a lot of benefits that come with the Concept 2. One of the key benefits being that every piece on that rower is replaceable. You can go to their website, replace any sort of broken parts, and it's going to last you a lifetime. Not the case, but in terms of how it feels. I have tested so many air rowers. The Nova Row has to be one of the most comparable options to the Concept 2 and at a very, very budget-friendly cost. Normally, this is $919, and I would say just go ahead and buy the Concept 2 at that point because it's around the same cost point. However, it is now on sale for $499, so almost half of the cost. At $500, I say absolutely. If you are looking for a good air rower and you don't want to spend $1,000, this would be the one to choose. So a couple things that it might be a little bit different than the Concept 2. It can go ahead and fold in half, or it can be stored vertically. The seat on this is very, very, very comfortable to use. Another thing very similar to the Concept 2, it does have a dampener setting. The pole feels similar. Everything feels similar to the Concept 2. So again, for $500, you are looking for a quality air rower. We do have a full video review on this rower on our channel if you want more details about it, but this would be hands down my pick. The other one from Merach is their Nova Row 950, and it is their dual resistance rower. So it's actually going to combine what a water rower is, and then it also has mechanical resistance. So I would say it actually feels a lot more like a water rower, but one benefit is it feels a little bit more consistent because of that magnetic component. So all in all, if you are looking for something that feels very similar to a water rower but has a little bit more resistance to offer, this would be a good one to check out. So the normal cost on this is $979. You are going to go ahead and save $280 on this, bringing your cost down now to $699 and then 99 cents. So you can connect to Bluetooth, you can connect to your Apple Watch to track your workouts while using this rower. It does kind of have a different feel to the pedals. It's on this like slanted board where you're going to go ahead and place your feet. Those feet do move with you, but it is a little bit different than a feeling of something like a Concept 2 or even something like a NordicTrack rower. So the resistance levels, it is water resistant, which have 6 levels, and then it has that magnetic resistance, which is 16 levels of magnetic resistance. All in all, I tend to like the design of a water rower, and this is no different. I think that it looks just really nice. It has this like really nice wooden design, just looks like a clean aesthetic. And then obviously having that dual resistance profile is really unique, super fun to row on, and all in all, this is a really good deal as well. The next rower I want to talk about is from Ergatta. So Ergatta has recently gotten rid of their Ergatta. Typically, they had the Ergatta and then the Ergatta Lite. They have now rebranded the original Ergatta as the Ergatta Luxe. And there's a couple key differences between the original and now this Luxe. But the two rowers from Ergatta are both on sale currently. If you decide to purchase the Ergatta Luxe rower, you are going to save yourself $650. If you decide to purchase the Ergatta Lite, you are going to save $600 off of your total purchase. So right now, the Ergatta Luxe costing $1,999, the Ergatta Lite costing $1,299. Couple details about the Luxe. Obviously, both of these are water rowers. With the Luxe design, you are going to have access to the Ergatta programming on a large 21-inch HD touchscreen. And then that goes the same with the Lite. You are going to have access to all the Ergatta programming on a large 21-inch touchscreen. One huge benefit to both of these rowers is their weight capacity. So with the Luxe, you have a 500-pound weight capacity. And then with that Lite, you are also going to have a 500-pound weight capacity. Ergatta might be my favorite water rower to row on. One, because I love the Ergatta programming, but two, I love the design of it. I love how they feel. Super smooth pulls. It's super low to the ground. That might be something that people don't like. If you have any sort of like mobility issues, having a higher rower seat might be more beneficial to you. But for me, it feels like it takes up less space. I like that you sit low to the ground. Every pull feels really smooth, and both of these rowers I've used extensively and have had zero complaints about either of them. All right, next one I want to talk about is from Aviron. Aviron is one of my favorite companies. They continue to come out with really great products. The one rower I want to talk about from Aviron is the Strong rower. However, they also have the Strong Go rower. There's a couple differences between the two, but they are both on sale currently. So right now, the Strong rower is normally $2,549. It is now $1,899, saving you $650 off of your total purchase. Now with Aviron, they have some of the most fun programming. I mean, if you've seen any of my Aviron reviews, you know I always talk about the games that Aviron offers, especially they have it on their bike, they have it on their treadmill. They have that same fun game programming on their rower as well. But not only that, with the Aviron programming, you are going to have access to other classes, whether it's studio-led classes, scenic rowing rides, and then there's so much more that goes along with it. Okay, so this is a dual air and then magnetic resistance rower. So it is a little bit louder, but it's not loud in like what we would consider a typical air rower like the Concept 2 because it mixes in that magnetic resistance. The screen is going to go ahead and rotate a full 270 degrees, and so you can go ahead and use the programming on the rower, or if you want to take any sort of their HIIT or like their strength classes off the rower, you can rotate the screen and do it that way. It comes with 160 levels of resistance. It is super easy to change the resistance. You can do it two ways. You can do it one from the screen, or they actually have a function on the handlebar that allows you to change the resistance that way as well. Another key benefit to this is you can go ahead and store it vertically. You don't need any sort of accessories or wall mount to come along with that. So if you want to just save space from your garage gym, push it out of the way, it can be stored vertically. Okay, the next brand I want to mention is Hydrow. I love Hydrow rowers because I love their programming. Not only that, but they almost remind me of a spaceship. Honestly, the Hydrow rower should be put in the Met. Like it should be put in some sort of art museum because it doesn't feel like a typical piece of gym equipment. They are also having massive sales right now, up to $850 off of certain products. But I want to touch on two of their rowers real fast. So the Hydrow Arc rower, normally $2,295, now $2,095. I mean, look at this. It basically looks like a spaceship. It is a little bit larger than other rowers that we have tested, that we have seen. So keep that in mind. And the screen is very big. That can be a benefit to some people. Some people don't like a large screen in their face. But when you are following along with their scenic classes, I like feeling like I am almost fully immersed in the scenic ride. That screen measures 24 inches. It has clear sound, it has clear visuals, and then it also has a ton of other programming aside from their scenic rides as well. Now, this is a magnetic resistance rower, so it is quite quiet. However, their updated magnetic rower that we actually just got in is a little bit more loud than I would typically expect from magnetic rower, so just keep that in mind, but like nowhere near the sound that's coming from like the Concept 2. The weight capacity on this is a little bit lower at 375 pounds, but still above industry standard, and still a lot of people will be able to use it. Now, going to their other rower right now, we just talked about the Hydrow Arc rower. They have the Hydrow Origin rower. So normally $2,195, and now it is only costing you $1,645. So a massive savings on this rower. This is a very similar rower to the Arc. It is going to take up a little bit more space than what we typically see with the rower. And then it also comes with a large screen as well. It comes with the same great programming, the same scenic rides, and everything that you see with the Arc is basically in the Origin rower. This also comes with a weight capacity of 375 pounds, and you can use both of these rowers if you don't want to subscribe to the Hydrow programming. It is a little bit more expensive programming, but in terms of rowing programming, if you want to actually really improve your rowing form, I think this is one of the best. It has competitive leaderboards, so you'll be able to jump on classes and see how you stack up against basically the entire world. All right, so there are two rowers from NordicTrack, both of which we have reviewed. They have the RW900 rower and then the RW700 rower. There's a couple differences between the two. So with the 900, you are going to have a larger screen at 24 inches. And then with the R700, you're going to have a smaller screen that measures 10 inches. Obviously, both come with that great iFit programming if you want to go ahead and subscribe to the iFit programming, allowing you to use all of their classes. Normally with the RW900, it's going to cost you $2,799. Now it is on sale for $2,299. And then with the R700, typically costing you $2,299, now costing you $1,799. They both come with 26 levels of magnetic resistance. They are incredibly quiet. They do have a high seat height, which is really great for those who have any sort of mobility or balance issues. It's easy to get on and off the rowers. The last thing I will say about both of these rowers, they do meet industry standards at 300 pounds for the weight capacity. So keep that in mind as you're comparing rowers. A lot of the time, magnetic resistance rowers tend to not have the weight capacity that we see with like an air rower or a water rower. Okay, so now moving on to bikes. And again, we have more rower deals and more information either on our YouTube or on our website at GarageGymReviews.com. If you want more information or more deals than what I am talking to you about today, please be sure to check out either of those sites. Okay, so next let's talk about a budget-friendly bike that is the Horizon 5.0 IC. This is a no frills, budget-friendly upright bike. But if you are somebody who just wants to go ahead, you don't care about programming, you don't care about any sort of fancy things that go into making a good quality studio cycle bike, you just want a sturdy bike that you can put lots of miles on, then the Horizon 5.0 or the Horizon 7.0 are both really great options. So normally the 5.0 is close to that $1,000 mark. It is almost $400 off, costing you $599. It is small, it is compact, it doesn't come with a screen, but it does have a media shelf holder so you can go ahead and follow along with any sort of other programming that you want to and put it on your tablet, let it rest on that media shelf. It also comes with 100 levels of magnetic resistance, so very quiet, it's very smooth, and it's very sturdy. Now, when it comes to the 7.0, it has a couple additional features. It normally costs you almost $1,300. It is now on sale for $799. It is also a very compact bike that does come with 100 levels of that magnetic resistance by basically the turn of the knob at the bottom. This is very typical for a studio cycle bike. There are some other brands out there that are now adding in different ways to use that magnetic resistance, but this is pretty standard. The other thing that both of these bikes offer is virtually no assembly. The assembly on this is so easy. It should take about one person less than 20 minutes to assemble both of these bikes and be able to use them. Another bike that I really enjoyed riding is the Bowflex VeloCore, and that is for one reason, maybe a couple of reasons. One, I don't really love cycling, and so anything that can take my brain off of the fact that I am suffering on a bike is a win for me. And with this Bowflex VeloCore, you actually have the ability to lean side to side on the bike. I just thought it was incredibly fun. So you can follow along with the journey programming. You can also follow along with Zwift on the massive screen that the VeloCore offers. If you don't want to move side to side, you can lock your seat into place and treat it like a typical studio cycle bike. So normally this bike is about $200. It's on sale now for $600 off at $1,599. Again, it comes with that massive 22-inch touchscreen, 100 levels of magnetic resistance. It also comes with dual pedals, so meaning that they have a cage toe box on one side, or if you do want to clip in your SPD clips, you can do that as well on the other side of the pedals. Another bike that if you are looking for more of a budget-friendly bike, but one that functions really well, is super sturdy, but you're not having to pay a monthly subscription cost, is the Schwinn IC4. So the Schwinn IC4 is $200 off, now costing $799. It also comes with 100 levels of smooth magnetic resistance. It has that dual-sided pedals for your SPD clips or just your regular tennis shoes if you want to use them that way. It also comes with 3-pound dumbbells and then that dumbbell holder rack that sits at the back. So if you want to incorporate that into your ride, a lot of the times you have to buy those dumbbells separately. You don't have to do that with this Schwinn IC4. It does have a pretty comfortable seat. I mean, really, any saddle on a studio cycle bike is not my favorite, but this one isn't too bad. The other thing in terms of comfort is it does have adjustable seat and adjustable handlebars as well, so you can really kind of fit the bike to wherever feels most comfortable for you. Okay, so if you want not a budget-friendly studio cycle bike, you kind of want one of the best. I think when we think of a great studio cycle bike, one of the first things we probably all think of is Peloton. Their Bike Plus Peloton IQ is honestly incredible. You are going to save $700 off of your purchase, now only costing you $1,995. It comes with a massive touchscreen, almost 24 inches, that displays all of that great Peloton programming. Not only that, the sound system on Peloton is one of the best. You are going to be able to mix and match your instructor's voice or the music that you want to listen to while doing the classes. The other thing that I really like that Peloton has incorporated, and they've done this on their treadmill, they've done this on their row, and now with their bike, is they actually have real form feedback. So it has actually a camera on the display that's going to go ahead and give you cues on how to improve your form while running. If you are an experienced lifter, or if you are somebody who has been running a long time, you know that form is going to carry you so much further in the long game. It's going to help prevent injuries. It's going to actually increase your strength or increase your cardio over time. So a real-time feedback on your form, I think, is actually genius. All right, the last one I want to mention right now, this is one of my favorite bikes. It is the Carol bike. It is all AI programming. It has a couple different programming options, and most of their workouts are only around 14 minutes long. But don't let that fool you. Like, these are super intense workouts. They use actually re-hit instead of just a traditional hit style workout. There's a bunch of science behind doing a re-hit workout and how that's going to actually optimize your VO2 max. Okay, so with the Carol bike, if you use the code Black Friday, you're going to save $300 off of your total purchase. So the original cost of that is $2,795. Go ahead and use the code Black Friday. Knock off that additional $300. And it doesn't necessarily have any sort of resistance level because it is all like a smart bike, because it is AI programming. You will take a fitness test at the beginning, and then it will use that data to transfer to all of the programs that you use in the future. Not only that, it's going to keep track of how well you do in each of those programs and then adjust the resistance, adjust the intensity, whether that's like, okay, we're going to sprint for 20 seconds, we are going to just like gently ride for 10 seconds. It sees you are doing well, now you might have to sprint for 30 seconds and only rest for 10 seconds, or it might adjust the resistance, so it's going to be harder. All in all, I think that this is a super fun bike to use. We actually have it at my house, and my girls actually love this bike. They actually probably use it the most frequently. Okay, so again, that is my list. That is my top picks for rowers and bikes for Black Friday sales. There are some really good Black Friday sales, so if you are on the fence of wanting to get a rower or wanting to get a bike, I say absolutely do it, because a lot of these companies don't have deals like this through the rest of the year. This is kind of a really good chance to buy exactly what you want for your home gym. But be sure to check out our other Black Friday videos coming out. We have treadmills and ellipticals, we have supplements. We also have a full recovery video that is on its way out. So please watch all those videos, subscribe to this channel. This has been Lindsay with Garage Gym Reviews. Peace.